National 5 Maths, Practice Paper B, Paper 2. So in question 1 at standard form, we've got 19.06 times 10 to the power negative 5 kilograms is the weight of a spider. A hummingbird is 18 times heavier. So it's 18 times the weight of a spider. And when you type that into your calculator, you're going to get 3.4308 times 10 to the power of negative 3, and the units are kilograms. And that is in scientific notation, which is another term for standard form. Question 2. A microwave oven is sold for £150. That includes VAT of 25%. We've got to work out the price before VAT. So I'm going to do it in two different ways. So that is 100% plus the 20% VAT. So that's 120% equals £150. So if I divide by 12, that'll give me 10%. And if I times 10% by 10, that's going to give me 100%. So that's going to give me the original price before VAT was added on. So if you divide 150 by 12, you get £12.50. And if you times that by 10, you get £125. So that was the price before VAT. Different methods, we can say the original price, which we don't know, it's being increased by 20%. So 100% plus 20% is 120%. So as a decimal is going to be 1.2. And that equals £150. So if X is the original price before VAT, 150 divided by 1.2 gives us £125. For question number 3, we've got to work out the mean and standard deviation for these prices. Well, if we add them all together, that's going to give us a total of 438. So the mean, which is X bar, is 438 divided by 6, and that comes to 73. Now I'm going to use the space down the bottom here because I'm going to work out the standard deviation. So the first column is X, that's each of the items of data. So that's each item of data. The second column, we're subtracting the mean from each of those items of data. So it's 66 subtract 73. And then it's 70 take away 73, and so on. And the third column is where we square the difference. So X minus X bar squared. So it's this thing squared. There should be no negatives in the third column, because when you square negative 7, you're squaring a negative, you get a positive. And if we add all those up, we get 550. So the standard deviation formula is in the formula sheet at the start of the paper. So we can apply that. So it's going to be the sum of X minus X bar squared. That's just this number here, the 550, divided by n minus 1. N's the number of items of data. Number of items of data, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 6 take away 1, and you square root the whole lot. So it's the square root of 550. 6 take away 1 is 5. So it's the square root of 110. And that comes to, when you round it to one decimal place, comes to 10.5. So we hear standard deviation equals 10.5. And your mean, 73. We've then got to look at this bit here. So in 6 local shops, the mean price of a carton of milk is 73 pence with a standard deviation of 17.7 pence. So we've got the supermarket, we've got the local shops, that's your mean, that's your standard deviation. Now here's the supermarkets, the mean was 73. The local shops, the mean is 73, so they're both the same. The standard deviation for the supermarket is 10.5. And for the local shops is 17.7. So we have to write comments to compare the supermarket prices with those of local shops. Now, it's 2 marks, so we can make a mark for comparing the standard deviations and one for the means. So let's do the means first. Let's give myself a bit more space here. So, for comparing the means, So you can say something along the lines of the mean price of milk is 73 pence in both the supermarkets and the local shops. Okay, so that's going to give us a mark for comparing the mean values. We're then going to compare the standard deviations. Now remember, standard deviation tells you how spread out the data is compared to the mean value. Here it's smaller, so there's less variation. Here it's larger, so there's more variation. So we can say something along the lines of the supermarkets have more consistent prices compared with the mean, i.e. there is less variation in price compared to the local shops so the local shops have more varied prices as their standard deviation is 17.7.